was being washed away, leaving only the shadows of things that once were. She sat curled up in her favorite armchair, a steaming cup of tea cradled in her hands, and stared into the flickering flames of the fireplace. The room was dim, illuminated only by the orange glow of the fire and the occasional flash of lightning that illuminated her small living room. Clara had always been drawn to stories, particularly those that sent shivers down her spine. She had a collection of horror tales that she kept tucked away on a dusty shelf, each one more chilling than the last. But there were 3 stories that she had never dared to tell aloud, tales that had been passed down through whispers and fearful glances, stories that were said to bring misfortune to those who recounted them. Yet, on this stormy night, Clara felt an inexplicable urge to share them, to breathe life into the darkness that surrounded her. The first story began with a knock at the door. It was a night much like this one, rainy and tempestuous. A young woman named Emily had been home alone, her husband away on business. The wind howled outside, and the rain lashed against the windows, creating a symphony of chaos. As Emily settled into her evening routine, she heard it, a soft, hesitant knock that pierced through the storm. She paused, her heart racing. Who could be out there in such weather? Cautiously, she approached the door, peering through the peephole. The darkness outside was impenetrable, save for the occasional flash of lightning that illuminated the porch. She saw nothing. The knocking came again, more insistent this time. With a trembling hand, she opened the door just a crack, ready to slam it shut if necessary. "Hello?" she called out, her voice barely above a whisper. There was no response, only the sound of rain and wind. She was about to close the door when she noticed a figure standing at the edge of the porch, cloaked in shadows. It was a woman, drenched and shivering, her hair matted to her face, obscuring her features. "Please," the woman pleaded, her voice trembling. "I need help. My car broke down and Emily hesitated. The storm raged on, and the woman looked desperate. Against her better judgment, she opened the door wider, allowing the stranger to step inside. As the woman crossed the threshold, Emily felt the chill wash over her, as if the air had suddenly turned cold. "Thank you," the woman said, her voice barely audible over the storm. "I thought I would be stuck out there forever." Emily offered her a towel, and the woman took it, drying her face and hair. But as she looked closer, Emily's stomach twisted. The woman's eyes were hollow, dark circles framing them like bruises, and her skin was pale, almost translucent. "I'm sorry, but are you okay?" Emily asked, concern creeping into her voice. The woman smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "I'm fine, just tired. The rain, it always makes me feel this way." As the night wore on, Emily tried to make small talk, but the woman remained distant, her gaze often drifting toward the window, as if she were searching for something just beyond the glass. The storm continued, and with it an uneasy tension filled the room. Suddenly the woman turned to Emily, her expression shifting. "Do you believe in spirits?" she asked, her voice low and haunting. Emily shivered. I suppose I do. Why?" The woman's smile widened, revealing teeth that seemed too sharp, too white against her pale skin. "Because they believe in you." Before Emily could respond, the lights flickered, plunging the room into darkness. Panic surged through her and she fumbled for her phone, the glow illuminating the woman's face. But it was no longer the same face she had seen earlier. The woman's features had twisted, contorted into something grotesque. Her eyes now black voids that seemed to swallow the light. "Help me," the woman hissed, her voice echoing with a chorus of whispers. "You have to help me." And then, just as suddenly as she had appeared, the woman vanished, leaving Emily alone in the dark. The sound of rain pounding against the roof like a drum. The second story was one that Clara had heard from her grandmother, a tale that had haunted her childhood. It was about a family who had moved into an old house at the edge of town, a house that had a reputation for being cursed. The locals warned them to stay away, but the family was undeterred, drawn by the charm of the old place. At first, everything seemed perfect. The children played in the backyard, and the parents reveled in their new life. But soon, strange occurrences began to unfold. The children reported seeing shadows flitting past their windows at night, and the parents heard whispers echoing through the halls, hushed voices that seemed to call their names. One evening, the mother, Sarah, was putting the children to bed when she heard a knock. It was soft at first, but it grew louder, more insistent. She stepped into the hallway, her heart racing. The sound seemed to be coming from the attic. "Stay here," she told the children, her voice steady despite her fear. She climbed the creaking stairs to the attic, the air growing colder with each step. The door was slightly ajar, and she pushed it open, revealing a dark, cluttered space filled with old furniture and boxes. The knocking continued, echoing through the attic. "Hello," she called out, but there was no answer. She stepped further inside, the floorboards creaking under her weight. As she moved deeper into the attic, she noticed a dusty mirror leaning against the wall. Its surface was tarnished, but as she approached, she could see something moving behind her reflection. She turned, but there was nothing there. The knocking came again, louder this time, and she spun back to the mirror. In its depths, she saw a figure, a woman, pale and gaunt, with hollow eyes that seemed to bore into her soul. The woman raised a finger to her lips, shushing her, and Sarah felt a chill run down her spine. "Leave," the woman mouthed, her voice silent but urgent. Panic surged within Sarah, and she stumbled back, her heart racing. But the mirror began to ripple, distorting the image until it became a swirling vortex of darkness. The woman's face twisted in anguish, and Sarah felt an overwhelming urge